account-based money transfer. That's account to account. MoneyGram, Swift, Visa Direct, as I mentioned, and other products which we've launched like Equity Direct. So this is not about an overnight we doing it, or this is, we reacting to what's happening in the market. This is about a strategy that has been developed over 10 years. And it's about a strategy that requires spending a lot of time and a lot of effort forming relationships. So if you go, just stay back on that one. So if you have a look at it, we've created the links to the banks. We've created links through our payment gateway to governments. We've created links through the Mvnos, through the e-wallet providers, the Googles, the PayPals. We're the only bank that is working with Google on their products. So that's taken a lot of time. We're working with various PSPs, payment service providers, to expand it so that wherever you go, you'll be able to spend your money. We're obviously also working with the international payment systems, as I've said. So if you carry on to the next slide, this is all about, we've got customers, we need to be able to access them. There are branches, there's internet banking, there's the mobile phone, there's points of sale, there's agents, there are kiosks. Being able to do a telco is just one of those channels. For us, specifically with trying to reach poor people, the most crucial channel is called USSD. When you start *247, that's a USSD channel. As a bank, we need to have ownership of the USSD channel. And I think that's a crucial thing that we've had to work at doing, was how do we give our customers reliable banking, reliable mobile banking. We know we haven't given you reliable mobile banking up until now, but the Mvno answers that. It enables us to give you reliable mobile banking, and I think that is very, very crucial. Next one. So how are we doing it? Very simply, we are using Airtel's infrastructure, and we're very happy to have Adil with us to represent Airtel. We needed a reliable partner that we could ride on, and we will be working with Airtel. So through the telco, we link directly into the Airtel systems. But on the back end, we still have our link to the banking system. So this is just creating another route to get through to our banking system and obviously the external parties. So this is not complicated. This is just adding one more reliable channel to give our members reliable banking. So as I said, this is a very exciting time. I believe we're getting very close to being able to give Kenyans and Africans, not just Kenyans, the whole of Africa, financial freedom. It's been a very long walk, but I'm pleased to say we're reaching the end of the journey. So I'll hand over to James.
Thank you, John. Those who know, when John came, he came as Director of Operations, and pushed him to finance, and quickly then we removed him to finance 4 years ago and put him now to focus on mobile and payments innovations. And for 4 years, John was doing nothing else but building up these models that eventually ended up with the creation of the data center that is secure. Because all these payments, remember what we have done is that we have put the whole world under one plate. Then security and capability becomes increasingly important. And Hukai, I don't know, do you want to talk about this slide?
Just brief.
Yeah, briefly.
Back to the next previous slide.
Previous slide.
Good morning, everyone. I remember last time we stand here, we bring a lot of business partners like Oracle, IBM, Infosys, OpenWay, talk about our transition of IT and IT investment. And at that moment, we made a statement that we get the best partners from the world, from hardware, from software, and now it's time to put the money into use. And I'm very proud the IT is part of this initiative that put our existing IT investment to the best use and support the business innovations. From these pictures, you can see that we have Airtel, our new business partners, to provide the telco infrastructure to these things. And we have existing bank systems that we are in the process to solidify and make it consistent and stable and secure. And with this, and we talk about all the payment channels that we are able to connect throughout the world, and we're the best in the region. So from this picture, you can see there's minimum new investment of that. We are putting the old investment into use. And the focus is to provide a real secure financial services over the mobile phone with the current infrastructures. And the next slide, please. So one of the focus is security and stability of the systems. So as you can see, we're putting a lot of effort into these areas. And interestingly, Dr. Mungi mentioned ActiveBank version 1, and 2.0 and 3.0. And IT is on the 2.0 at this point. For those who knows computer science, the technical guys start the number from 0, not 1. So we're always one version behind the business. So we are in the transformation period that transform this IT from a courageous, a brave, sometimes brave one, into a more disciplined and methodical organizations. And this is provide us a playing ground to show our new IT and to our capability to support this business and support business innovation as part of our mission. Our mission is to be the enabler and the catalyst of business innovation by providing the secure, stable, scalable, and agile business services. So we are putting a lot of effort on the security and stability from a high availability point of view, from business continuity point of view. And I won't avail more technical detail about how we're secured, but because of our business partners, we put a lot of security on the physical layer. So this will be the most secure financial services in the market and potentially in the world. And this existing infrastructure investment we have will ensure us to do that. Next slide, please. Oh, it's already.
Sorry, okay, we cut off a few of your slides, just in case of time. But basically, people might not have understood why we got people like Rafa. It's simply because it was not about an IT platform that enables equity to do what it needs to do. It was now the issue of discipline because of security. We are really now globally connected. So we said we must get the people who are best to secure the bank in an amazing way. But if you go 2 slides back, Alex, one more slide this year. I think basically where equity sits at the center, the connectivity to all these is what we wanted to secure. We didn't want equity sitting in the middle to be dependent on anybody. We wanted to be sure we can guarantee all the partners reliability and availability of the system. And that is why we needed an Mvno that we owned and we controlled and we could secure. Now, the power of the Mvno is that it gave us access to the SIM card. The SIM card was the most important thing we needed because that is the only way we could secure transactions. So the SIM card now is the nerve center of our security. We can encrypt all the data such that it doesn't go like we see in telecoms, but it's these open data systems. No. This one, every data moving from the SIM card, from the phone to the system will be encrypted. You can't be able to decode it. So that ability to provide total security is what we really needed. And I guess now you can see why we are giving people freedom. It doesn't matter whether it is banks. And so when we launch the equity money transfer, mobile money transfer, what it means is unlike all the other money transfers we have in the country that are restricted, this will be an open platform. You can send money to any bank account in the country, not in equity, in any account. We would prefer all the accounts to be in equity, but we want to give people choice. If we choose another bank, we still want you to be able to send money to any bank, anytime, 24 hours by 7. There's no restriction. So the issue of overpaying anybody cash then doesn't arise, because you just need to ask them their bank account and you send money from your phone. The second thing is, as you can see, all the mobile telecoms operators are connected to equity. So there is no restriction that you can only send money to equity telecom clients. You send money to all the telecoms in the country. There is any phone, irrespective of who have offered that phone, you are able to send that money. So what are we saying? Freedom has at last come. That's why John was talking about the long journey to freedom, where you do what you want and you work with who you want without market restricting you, without businesses restricting you in terms of operation. And essentially, as John said, Kenyans who have children out of the country, you just need to know whether your child has a Visa or a MasterCard. You send money from your phone through the link to their Visa, MasterCard account. So essentially, we are really globalizing the Kenyan people in the sense that we give them the freedom of sending money. And as John said, all the payment system. We have not just taken the traditional payment systems, but we have also taken the traditional money transfer. Western Union is now terminated to bank accounts in equity. MoneyGram is terminated to bank accounts in equity. So we no longer need to go to agency. Money can be sent directly from Western Union to the bank account, and the bank account is attached to your phone. You start using the money, paying whoever you want to pay. Landlords will no longer need to wake you up. But more importantly, Kenya Power will never be able to disconnect anybody, because as you see them walking in, you just take your phone and pay and refer to them, because you have a receipt on your phone. So life made pretty easy. Pretty easy. You never get stuck because you forgot a wallet. The only thing you need not to forget is your phone. We are hoping restaurants, as John tries to distribute 300 mobile POSs in all the merchant businesses, then people will be eating in a kiosk and pay the way we are paying public transport using just tap and go. We'll be tapping in kiosk and the whole. So it is literally recapturing the payment space. This gives us a huge excitement, because this is where financial inclusion was. When we started in 1993, only 6% of Kenyans had bank accounts. Now, only 6% are not using cash. So it's almost a replica of the same. And so this is a place we have been before, and we hope we'll be able to go. If we go to the next phase, I think the Mvno strategy now specifically, this is a little bit of literature, there's a lot of narratives, we have explained most of them, but let's try and go through. So what are we doing is transform equity from a physical place that customers come to something they do. It's their life now. They use their phone to do whatever they want to do in relationship to equity. We believe we are inventing the future. It's for those in IT, you invent, and we are hoping we'll be able to keep the source code in our pocket, because we believe we are taking banks to a future where banks may not be required the way they exist today, but banking services will still be necessary. So it's that future that we are trying to prepare ourselves to, where people just have their phones and they have all the banking services without caring where the next branch is or physically knowing where the bank is. And lastly, the objective is to significantly enhance convenience, flexibility, accessibility, and affordability of banking services. The old theme of 1993, we are still stuck with it because it gave us enormous growth. It means it's relevant to our people. So again, we are stuck with that, and we shall see how we are executing it. The next slide is then digitalize and virtualize the bank. Remove the bank from being physical to the virtual space, and we'll do that by digitalizing all banking products. Prioritize mobile and internet channels to start quickly replacing brick and mortar branches. Create bridges to digitize cash to create e-commerce world. That's what John was talking about. Seek to make the economy cash right. By encouraging electronic payments, and we are hoping everybody who is here and has a retail outlet will go with a POS or a mobile POS and start accepting payment forthwith. And encourage government and support it with e-payments. There we have done very well. I'm sure you know now, if you want to renew your road license or motor vehicle, all that are being paid electronically now through equity. So anybody paying government for motor vehicle, that is done. The same we have done for tax. Again, we have taken over the responsibility. We have taken over, as John said, all social payments in the country. So it appears government services, government to person and person to government, is moving very fast, and we're very excited because we were ready. We seem to be the bank. Even the whole of East African governments have pointed us to do the customs payments because we are able to do them electronically. Have access to telecommunication backbone network that is secure, reliable, and highly available, and that is what the Mvno is all about, because I'm sure we all know the challenge of telecom access and availability in most cases. Offer the world and regulators an ideal model of collaboration over the inevitable convergence between banks and telecoms, where banks offer financial products and telecoms offer infrastructure. That will be very well reflected by FinServ, which will own the infrastructure, and the bank, Equity Bank, that will own the product, and allow complete convergence of channels, such that in the unlikely event of, we have said, of telecom mobile infrastructure being unavailable, customers or members continue to access their money through internet debit cards. Again, we'll give people choice. Do you want American Express? Do you want Visa? Do you want MasterCard? Do you want China Union Pay? Do you want JCB? That freedom to us is very important. And allow convergence of all financial products on all channels. So the phone, as we said, will have credit, will have saving, it will have insurance, it will be able to process payments, it will be able to process transactions, it will be able to offer brokerage, custodial, and investment services to start with. So essentially, that means almost all the financial services are taken care of. Then remove the middleman law to reduce cost and increase earnings and pass benefits onto the customer in terms of reduced cost and enhanced affordability. To us, this is very, very central, because when telecoms choose to also become middlemen in between, then it becomes impossible. And that explains why all our attempts in the past has not worked, because it becomes impossible to deliver quality at the right price. We think we should remove virtual stored value accounts to eliminate the cost and risk of cash handling and ensure deposit protection insurance cover for all savings. Essentially, we are really bothered about virtual accounts, in the sense when you have virtual account, you have always to have cash to be deposited to the virtual account. The cost of handling that cash is if you remove that, And that is the objective of equity. Remove depositing to accounts to zero. You have reduced 50% of the cost of money transfer. It's as simple as that, and that to us is, and then target 96% cash market with the cashless. So it's not about competition. That's why we said it's competing with the cash. It's not competing with the telecoms. The space is too big. The opportunity is too big, and we hope we'll be able to really give out as many merchants and revolutionize and transform mobile money transfer through mobile banking and make money transfer bank account based. What are we saying? We are mapping your phone on your bank account. So you never need to store cash, to go to an agent to put cash. Essentially, money remains in the bank and you keep on working on it and transferring it. Because of being able to do that, we're able to remove cost of depositing money. And if you do that, you eliminate 50% of the cost of money transfer as we know it today. Just imagine the money transfer, we know you have to always deposit money. That cost goes away because the money is already in the bank. And because of removing middlemen, we are initiating a 1% transfer fee with a cap of a maximum of 25 shillings, irrespective of the amount, because that's what we do in the bank. So essentially what it means, if you transfer 100 shillings, the maximum you pay the bank is 1 shilling. And if you transfer 10,000, the maximum is not 100, it's 25 shillings. It's just 1% with a cap of 25. If you look at the available money transfer in the market, it averages 16% of the value of the money. So exactly like what we did with international money transfer with Equity Direct, where we reduced international money transfer from 12% to 1%, it appears the bank's second name will be 1% because it's only charging 1% on everything. So remove current money transfer charges from 16% to 1%. So essentially we've said as much and cap it to 25%. Why are we capping it to 25%? Because that is the charge we do at the agents. You can't charge more. Shillings. You can't charge more because we want our agents to be competitive. So there can't be any charge that is higher than the 25%. I can see Rahab, you're asking when we launch it. We'll launch soon so that money transfer becomes that easy. We checked that and it's amazing the amount of money Kenyans will save and how the economy will be. And last slide, Alex, is about mobile banking as a banking channel, access a convergent suite of all financial product, loan, savings that we have said, all of them put together, and then any offering from the bank. And mobile banking services to be converged and bundled with other channels, such as mobile money transfer funds are accessible and available through credit, debit cards, ATMs, agency network, branch network. So money transfer is not restricted. It is also in all the other channels, such that if the phone is not available, all the other channels have access to your money. And of course, this is the most exciting, making loans easy. The way savings is easy, why don't we make loans easy? So behind the mobile phone platform, we are putting a psychometric scoring. For people who are not in business, we do a psychometric test. You do a couple of questions, about 45 questions, and then the system creates a score of your reliability and dependability, and then the amount appropriate to you is allocated by the system. So essentially, you can borrow at night, at midnight, you are stuck in a bar, and you can't pay for a bottle, you just get to your phone, and the agents in the bank will be able to create. For those who are already banking, statistical financial scoring, that again will look at your account and score it. Mobile payments and airtime use, even the way you use your phone will score that and give you a credit limit, such that it's not about business, it's not about salary, it's even how your lifestyle is. We shall be able to do. Those in the bank, all of them, 8 million, they will have a credit score when we go live, such that there is a credit limit for you, essentially. And for those who have liquid assets, like in the bank, like shares and the rest, you can even create a limit on your phone. Based on, you can put a deposit and create a limit, and your phone has that credit. And that is why we were saying the phones becomes. The exciting thing, go to the next slide, is about how much it will cost. The interest will range from 1% to 2%, down from what is currently being practiced in the market of 7.5%. So essentially, again, why? Because we can't move our customers from the rates they are enjoying at the moment. The highest rate charged by equity is 1.75. We are saying up to 2 in case there is a credit risk that the scoring might increase. But basically, we are expecting an average of 1.5 rates. And again, digitalized financial products, interoperability, where you said money, as we said, to all payments, and allow mobile. Now, the last one is the most important thing, we believe, because now we shall allow mobile innovators to be an interoperable payment gateway across mobile networks, across banks, across payment systems. And this then opens a huge opportunity because the whole world becomes available to the innovators. It's no longer restricted to the members of the network, because all the innovations so far developed by the telecoms are tied to that telecom channel. But now we want the innovations so all the innovations we are seeing will be built aloud there, and we'll seek partnerships. So we have appointed a director of collaborations and partnerships just to ensure that we'll be open to all innovators to really create and install their systems, and we access them the payment gateway, which is universal. And in that preparedness, the way forward is very simple. But before we go to the way forward, Alex, let's go on to the next slide. Yeah, I think for us, that was the bank. How prepared are we with Mvno? The last question that we had said we will answer. I think we're very excited that the big issue was to select the mobile network operator who will host us. For the investors, this whole initiative by Equity Bank has no capex. There is no financing or capital expenditure. Why? Because we are being hosted. So we are very lucky to have had the honor of being hosted by Airtel, who told us they can give us 60% of their capacity. They have excess capacity of 60%. So it means we can grow very rapidly because the system already exists. It's plug and play. Because we are not building any infrastructure, we are not spending any money, so investors need not to worry about, there's zero investment. The data center exists, the systems in the bank can support it from the data center, and Airtel can support. The good thing with this partner is that then we are able to take an East African regional approach. They're in Uganda, they're in Rwanda, they're in Tanzania, so as soon as we succeed in Kenya, we repeat the same in the region. And we're very, very grateful, Mr. Adil, for giving us that opportunity. The cooperation is excellent. I see the accounts of Airtel has already been moved in equity, even in Uganda and Rwanda. So we are very excited. That is the type of partner we have eventually found. And but the most exciting is what they have said, is the commitment to invest to ensure overlap of network. We have given them the distribution of our customers, our agents, and our branch network. So they've said, wherever you have customers, we'll guarantee you coverage from day one. So again, that is a massive investment. And if we grow exponentially, we all know Airtel and their capability, but I need not talk about Airtel, where when the chief executive is here, Mr. Adil maybe will come as a partner, say one or two things.
Thank you, Dr. Mwangi. Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you this morning for two main reasons. The first reason is that I can see that Dr. Mwange and several of his staff are wearing ties that have the same color of mine, the same color of their tie. So this shows you how aligned in our vision already. So thank you for that, Dr. Mwange. And the second reason, obviously, is that we're very excited to actually bring this innovation into the Kenyan market along with equity. I think Mr. John said earlier that this is a defining moment for Equity Bank, but I think as well it's a defining moment for Airtel Kenya and the Airtel Group as well. I think we are making history today because our industries are converging. The telecom industry and the bank industry are going to be one very soon. And we need to be proud, all of us, because today we are embracing this conversion heads on. We are disrupting ourselves, as Dr. Morgan said, so that we can create value for our shareholders and our customers. Now, what is Mvno and why is Airtel doing Mvno? Well, for a simple reason, right? Airtel defines itself as making sure to provide services that customers want. And at the end, what we see in the market is that customers want conversion. Customers want actually to link their bank account to their mobile account. Customers want to do everything from the tip of their hands. And for us, we also need to disrupt ourselves, same way as equity is disrupting itself. So we need to embrace this demand from the customers and take it heads on and move into how we can see how we can provide these services to our customers. And taking this Mvno challenge and this Mvno opportunity will allow us to do just that. We will make sure to invest behind the equity group, both in Kenya and in East Africa, and hopefully, beyond, to make this a success. And this will benefit our customers at the end, because they will have access to latest technology in both the telecom industry, but also in the mobile financial services industry. Now, I want here to really commend the CCK and the CAK for allowing us to bring this innovation into the market. It is a very bold move from our stakeholders and our policymakers, and I really want to take them today and commend them for this foresight that they're having, because they are allowing us to bring innovation into the market and allowing us to respond to the demand of customers in the market. Now, as you know, Airtel is present in 17 countries in Africa and 20 countries in the world. Airtel is the fourth largest mobile operator in the world, soon to be the third largest. And this just shows you the kind of muscle and commitment in terms of investment that we're going to be able to provide and put behind this project. And also shows our shareholders that we have foresight and we are really looking into the future, and we're really trying to see how we can position the Airtel Group in general for this conversion that is coming. Now, towards our customers, the equity group is going to be my largest customer very soon, so I need to take good care of them. Towards our customers, both the equity group, our other partners and institutional customers, but also our end customers. We want today to ensure them that we will continue to provide the best quality services they are enjoying today. As Dr. Mwange said, we have excess capacity in our network. That's why we're able today to provide good quality. I'm sure many of you have Airtel lines and are enjoying good quality calls and good quality internet. And I want to assure you today and assure all other customers that we will continue to invest to ensure that we're providing this best quality experience in terms of network to our customers. And that's very key, because ultimately it's about the customer. It's about delighting the customer and making sure that they receive what they want. Now, in terms of how we will ensure that we will invest behind our equity partner, as Dr. Mwange said, we will ensure that we have coverage wherever equity customers will require coverage. We'll ensure that we'll invest on the coverage and capacity to support the growth and the phenomenal growth that we hope and we're sure that the equity group will have. So that sums up my brief intervention this morning. Thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you to the equity group for allowing us to be partners in this great project. And the equity group, our end customers and our shareholders can actually be confident that we will do whatever we can. Our staff and all our management will do whatever we can to make this a resounding success. Thank you very much.
So we're very, very grateful, and deal plus our best regards to the whole leadership of Airtel. Essentially, this is a win-win situation for both Equity and Airtel. Airtel is able to utilize the capacity it had invested in fully now, and we pay a variable cost depending on what we are using. And for us, we access telecom services without having to invest. And of course, for the Kenyans, you avoid another mask in your compound. Because essentially, we'll be using the towers that has been built by Airtel. It's an environmentally friendly strategy. But more importantly for the nation is resource allocation. For a nation, when you create idle resources, then you are denying the nation that resource in a more preferred area. So to me, it was no-brainer thinking we should not spend a coin because the capacity is there. And for Airtel, it has a client who is able to use that capacity. So the shareholders of both institutions are very excited. So Alex, let's go on. So essentially, that gives us a huge opportunity to collaborate. So all our account holders, then I think one slide back, Alex. Okay, let's move on. Essentially, we are saying it's East Africa, commitment to match the investment, move on. And we're saying the advantage is Airtel gets an advantage to fully utilize its investment, significantly grow revenue on the existing investment, while Equity Bank accepts mobile network operator infrastructure without capital expenditure, and but only financing costs, variable costs. Equity to leverage on Airtel existing partnership agreements and hence speed to market on all services. I think to me that is the biggest advantage of using an existing. What it means is that whatever Airtel have signed, whoever, then it becomes applicable to Equity Bank because essentially we are riding on the infrastructure of our Airtel. The second preparation, and we're very excited about this, is that we have already set up a 300-seater contact center, fully integrated with voice and social media, and is now operational 24 days, 7 days a week. And staff have been going through intense training on customer experience and effective service. So that contact center will support as we go on. I don't know whether, Alex, you want to show, that is how the contact center looks like. So everybody is already set up such that when we go live, we could be able to support all the customers, the 9 million customers. We are really targeting initially all our customers. We'll give them the SIM cards and they start transacting. And if there is any challenge, it's just a call away. Support or assistance is just a call away. Continue, Alex, back. Back to where we were, Alex. And the last one is when we launch, all our branches initially will become in-shop for the telecom, simply because the first people we are converting are our customers. So it essentially becomes so easy. So while most of the telecoms, and I get a bill has about 20 shops, day one, we'll start with 160 shops, just to make sure that all the customers are connected. They can pick their SIM card because they know that well, and then we can go. So again, and you can see the agents have, yes, we can go to the slide, Alex, where agents are showing this is what agents are doing. They're now able to do 3 million transactions in a month. So again, the capability of the agents have now been tested. So we are just loading. There were banking agents, now there will be telecom agents, and we shall also share this with all the telecoms. We really not discriminate. What is exciting us is the amount of money that they are turning around. Last month, our agents during the month of April turned around 23 billion Kenya shillings. So you can imagine once we wrote the money transfer, the telecom, we expect to be able to move straight to a 50 billion agency network handling every month, and that really hopefully eventually will make agents very, very profitable. We're very excited that our agents now will be able to have enough volume. We promised them about the products, and the products have started coming on board. And so again, preparation is in hand. And lastly is that we have managed to put all the payment gateways. These are very important because this is what brings water into the system, because it brings money. So it is not just out that we are automating, but inflow is also digitalized, because that is the most important. Digitalize both inflow and outflow, cash in and cash out. Everything be digitalized. And the choice, again, as John said, people have a choice. You choose the country. If you are person always going to the east, then China Union Pay might be very good. If you are an importer of cars and constantly go to Japan, JCB might be very appropriate. If you are very American market oriented, American Express or Amex might be the last thing. So we give people choice so that nobody is constrained on what they will match their SIM card with. And the last item, yes, Alex, is myself, I'm not a telecom person. John is not. So we decided to build a telecom team. I want to introduce to you our chairman of FinServ, Engineer John Waweru. He's an executive chairman, not a non-executive chairman, because we wanted to get it right. John, do you mind introducing yourself?
Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. Are you feeling cold? I can promise you good and exciting things. Flashback 1964, the only computer we had in this country was sitting in a room similar size as where we are. Imagine the smartphone you have in your pocket has double the capacity of that computer today. Shows you the power in your hands. How many of you forgot that mobile phone today when coming here? Anyone? Lift up your hand if you forgot your phone at home. You see how powerful that item is? You cannot forget. Now, we would like to bring cash alongside that powerful tool, because you know you cannot forget it. Anytime you leave your house, you are with the tool. Anytime you travel outside this country, you have the gadget. It gives you the freedom. Imagine a world without cash. Cashless society. It may not happen in our lifetime, but certainly it will. This is the beginning. You have heard 98% of the transactions in this country are simply cash. Imagine if you brought that figure to 60%. What does that mean to most of us? Central Bank of Kenya, they've saved a lot of money. Imagine the amount of money James pays to security guard, moving that money around. It's huge. That money could be used for other things to do. So this is a journey. I'm proud to be associated with FinServ. This is not our show. Our show will begin soon. But I promise you, we're at home with Equity.
So we better enjoy it, because this might be the last time we are talking about this. Will be handing over to FinServ. So we are lucky to have John. Those who don't know John, John is an electronic engineer, one of the first engineers that the country produced. He went on to work with Telecom, as we used to call it those days, rose up the ranks to become the managing director. We are talking about John, engineer, yeah. Went on to rise to be the chairman or to be the managing director of Telecom Kenya, and eventually all those of us know He's the one who was the last but one Chief Executive or Director General of CCK. So we have both knowledge and we have law with us, because this is the person who designed the CCK. He was the first Director General of CCK. If he has made any mistakes in the past, he has an opportunity now to reverse them. And if there was anything he didn't do, he now has an opportunity to do what? To do it. So we thought we could pick on John, and of course, John really understand this sector. Of course, then we have put John Study next. John Study, because John Study will then represent us in FinServ, just to ensure FinServ do what it it's all about financial innovation, it's about technology, so John's passion about it. Then let's go on. Then Julius, to bring in the fanatical operational discipline, he'll be able to second it just to help us. And of course, Rafael to provide the data center capability. John who is, Alan Waitito, Director of Special Projects. We take this as a special project in the bank. It's quite a lot of years. And we were very lucky. The man who is leading day-to-day, the Executive Director, the Mobile Innovations, is Enrico Nora, who has been with us now almost a year. More than a year, struggling with this space. He came, as we saw, from Docomo, the Japan, the big, I think the biggest telecom in Japan. So again, it's quite a bit of knowledge we didn't need to reinvent. We were very lucky to get one of our own, Jack Gary, a Kenyan, who had worked a lot with the British Telecom. And again, and he has also been able to serve in IP solutions, either in UK, Japan, Peru, and US. And even including, and of course, Emma, this is somebody we have managed to get from Oracle to come and really help us. And like Hukai said, what we need most is discipline now. It's really discipline and security. And we all know how Germans are. So we're really counting on the German flavor in Elma to ensure we acquire that discipline. Kenyans, I'm not saying we are not, but we really need improvement. So we accept in the bank that we really need. And of course, Director of Partnership and Strategic Collaborations, all the partners, so we have given them a director just to make sure nothing goes wrong. And of course, we have Manfred, so we've got Manfred from South Africa. Is a guru in data warehouses. His PhD and doctorate is in analytics capability. He's the one who created the data warehouse and all those analytical scoring capability, just to make sure that we do it. We've been assisted a lot by Ignacio Mas over how long, John? 3 years? 4 years of struggle, and we are amazed always. What John was talking about, psychological models, those models have all been designed by Ignacio Mas and has really helped us. He held his PhD from MIT, and he's a professor at University of Chicago. Those who know, it's really where most of the Nobel Prize holders are, and he has really put a lot of effort. We'll forever be grateful. When we started this project a year almost ago to put it together, we were also able to be very lucky to bring one of our own, Mary, who was in the US working with the Morgan Stanley, and she has really coordinated everybody to make sure the project is done in a very disciplined way. So we're almost assured by John, that is engineer senior, that we have done it the right way. And this to us was very important. Yes, Alex? So essentially, I now just want to call Enrico and tell us where. Don't push them with a lot of questions. Today was our day to tell you progress. We'll give them their day when we are rolling mobile. So, Nico.
Thank you, Jay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to give you a few information on where we are in this journey. As it was highlighted this morning, the Mvno part is only one component of a much wider, longer view strategy. So what we have done since the start of the implementation of this program, we have assembled a team of experts, both from Kenya and from international. We have handpicked the right talent, or I like to say even the best talent we could find in fields like mobile banking technology, security, customer behavior, Mvno, sales and distribution, and microinsurance, mobile loan, mobile credit, and credit scoring. Now, just for the record, if you try to get a scoring for yourself while you're in a bar at midnight and you tell the system that you'll run out of money for whiskey, I cannot guarantee that the system will be overly impressed, so be careful how you answer those questions. However, this is going to be another small revolution that equity will bring to give more freedom and choices. Now, what this team has been busy doing has been busy assembling a mobile banking offering which is more user-centric, that fits in the way people live their life, as opposed to asking people to change the way they live their life to fit into a banking product. This has been the main focus. The bank is single-mindedly focused on improving better mobile banking, mobile financial services. In parallel to this, the same team has been working on all the operational capability. So sales and distribution, SIM activations, our distribution network, our agent network, our branch readiness. The last part of this, as you know very well, and in fact, as the press has written about it, is now to layer mobile technology, mobile communication capability on top of this offering. And we're doing this with the help of our partner Airtel, as well as other international mobile partners, and under the leadership of engineer Wavero. So we are in the final part of our journey, at least of the implementation journey. Now we are in the testing phase. By the time we launch, I believe we will be able to unveil quite a compelling combination of mobile banking, telephony, and content. And we think that the strength of having all these three combined in one device in your pocket will be quite unique and bring a lot of value to Kenyans initially, and then all of East Africa. With this, I think I'll hand back to you.
As Enrico have said, we really pushed for our customer. It was all about our customer. So that's why mobile banking, but since they have almost completed mobile banking, that's why we can talk about it. They have now asked themselves, can they put the telecommunication layer on top? And so when we are unveiling, we hope they will be through and they will be able to share with us what are the other products, whether it is on voice, whether it's on data, whether there is everything else that goes with. Why? Because as Bill said, they gave us capacity. So the Mvno can do what the telecom can do, essentially. So with Alex, we go to the way forward. Just a couple of slides back, then we'll see what are we proposing. And we're really simply proposing that hope-free. Enrico and team who cross, they have been testing with 100 of their own staff. Today, they are giving our staff SIM cards to start now testing, 8,000 members of staff to start testing. They tell us on 15th of June, they might scale a little bit to our agents, just to make sure the agents are also ready. And we are hoping sometime in July, we should be able to call you and launch the whole product suite of Equity Bank. Now, for our customers, the 9 million customers, your SIM card will be ready when we are going live. You just need to go to the branch and pick your SIM card. You don't need to fill any forms because we know you. We have already done KYC on you. So it's just literally get your SIM card and really start talking. For the Kenyans who don't have an account with Equity, we'll make it pretty easy for them to book a SIM card. And so we'll start doing KYC on them. So we'll make life very easy. We'll start giving them a snapshot of how life will be. So today we'll be launching for them a platform that allows them to book their accounts by opening accounts electronically without coming to the bank. They just need to get to their phone and get into the system, put the ID, and within a few minutes, we send them back the details of their bank account and their PIN, and they can go to the bank and pick also the debit or credit card, whichever they choose. For merchants and little outlets who want seamless cashless electronic payments, again, their accounts can be hooked so that we are able to start processing payments for them. And those who want to become cash merchants, I think John wants to give them POSs in readiness so that come July when we launch, we believe it will be in July, then everybody will be ready the way Equity is ready. Equity is ready with everything, so we hope our customers and prospects who wants to use this system will be ready. So in a nutshell, that's what we have put together. But I think we can give the team an opportunity to answer a few questions. So if we could throw the questions, and particularly to John Study, it would be very good. Yes, let's start there with Wanjeri. Give him the mic.
Dr. James, I guess you are digital and I'm analog. One, I salute you because you have accepted the change. The change you have changed you or destroyed all of you. But my question goes slightly to you and slightly to him on interest. Equity is a listening bank. Studio. And Equity came from a small man, coffee picker somewhere in Murang'a. The coffee picker, the cooperative movement, you're okay with microfinance. That was doing very well. They are crying high over interest. And as a layman, I'm saying soon we are going to have our universities and colleges producing criminals because they have nowhere to go. The unemployment. Two, the agriculture sector. Somebody said it pays very slowly. If it dies, we shall all die in it. Breathe, James, and say, where the masses in the core movement, where the masses in the agriculture sector, the low housing in the urban places will go down far below what the central bank is trying to do. Otherwise, Kenya, 1975, Kenya became a capitalist country, and Kenya today is an economic apartheid. You find, you go to Sunny, a small soda is 250. Take it or go. That's the system we have. Now, it is not going to be peaceful. Assure me. You talked about the interest and where you came from. Can you protect the roots?
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's the choice we are offering. At the moment, Kenyans, because of the informality of the current structures, they are paying 7.5 per month, and we are saying they now have a choice when we go live in July to pay between 1% and 2%. So that's a very good, bold step. Then we'll keep on pushing. I'm not suggesting 1 is good. If we can be able to come to 0.5, much better. But we need to look at what is possible because of let me say, for instance, if you look at the country, the central bank rate is at the moment 8.5. If you look at the central bank, it's taking bonds at up to 12%. So banks can't trade below 12%. Because if they read below 12%, then they will ask themselves, why take risk and not give the money to central bank risk-free and get the same rate? Because they will behave rational. And that is why we have said, if we maintain the rates at anticipated 1%, then we are talking about it's the same rate as risk-free rates of interest, what the current benchmark. I think I want to appeal to Kenyans that the issue of interest rate is very complex because it's tied to the economy. When you have inflation, let's assume, like when inflation went all the way to 20, you can't read below inflation because if you read below inflation, you are not even preserving the amount you rent out. That again would be the minimum you can charge. So it's all about devoting all ourselves, strengthen our economy to ensure the microeconomic environment allows for low interest rates. But as you have heard, equity we are targeting, reducing from what the market at the moment is offering 7.5% to between 1 and 2% as a first step.
I think next time Alex and Alfred Nyama will be honest enough to tell us that you're coming for very sophisticated lectures and not universal difference. But that aside, how does this SIM card look like, John Story? Would we look at it? I'd be interested in seeing. There's nothing like that. You seem to be making faces. I think the standard at least told me is a special SIM card like I've never seen.
Okay, John. Talking now. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that. I mean, this is not a simple process. From the time you get your regulatory approval, because we're not going with we're going with what's called a thick Mvno. We're doing a lot of what a normal telco does. So unlike some of the other telcos who go, other Mvnos that are going as a light telco, which is basically a branded reseller, and it's a lot easier for them to go. So I think Adil can also fill you in the process. Because we do that, you can't order your SIM cards until you have approval from CCK, which we've now got. We're very grateful for CCK, CAK. We've got our approval, but we literally couldn't order SIM cards until that process was complete. They have to go into a manufacturing process that is happening. So yes, we have SIM cards working. I can show you on my phone, but as Dr. Mwangi said, we are still going through the pilot phase. We've only issued 100 of them. So I don't think it's too long to wait. We're talking July. We're not talking the end of the year. So the process is happening. But that's the reason why this is a thick Mvno. We're doing a lot of things, so it's a long process.
I think just to complement what says, Equity Mvno will have its own SIM card, like that of Airtel, like of any other telecom. So essentially, but however, because of freedom and choice, I think John might want to talk about the green SIM. I think that's what your friend is looking for. What?
Engineer needs to be much better at. There we are. It takes an engineer's touch. I'm not an engineer. Yes. So obviously we've had to look. As James said, it's incredibly crucial for us to own the SIM card because of what's called secure elements. And so I'll continue the lecture if you don't mind. So it's the secure elements that are on the SIM card. In order for us to do secure transactions. And so we wanted to be able to give this to all Kenyans. And as you're aware, a lot of Kenyans don't have dual SIM phones. So that was crucial for us to be able to get a solution for poor people. as you're aware, equity is all about financial inclusion. So we didn't want to just come up with a solution where you could give people dual SIM phones so that they could keep 2 SIMs. We needed a solution that was best for everybody. And that's why we've gone with the Mvno SIM. This is so that we can give anybody with any phone a solution. So once again, I really believe equity is living up to its financial inclusion agenda. We're not just going out there with a solution where, you can do this with a smartphone. We're going with a solution where the poorest person in Kibera will be able to do fully secure transactions. And I'm talking security that would meet with the card association's regulations. So I think that's an incredible step that we're taking the best technology to the very bottom end phone. And that's why it's going to take longer. If we were just going to launch with a smartphone app, we could. But how many people in Kenya have smartphones? So we are truly following our mission. We wanted an inclusive solution, and that's why we are this. And this is a first in the world. The technology has been rolled out in China, but this will be the first in Africa. And this is the first where we're actually pulling both the banking technology and the mobile technology onto the SIM, which will be available for everybody. So if you can bear with us, it's been a very complex process. This is something we've been working on for the last 5 years. So it's not something that we decided to do a year ago. Even though we only started officially a year ago, we've been researching this for the last 5 years.
So on a partner deal, you can choose to provide all Airtel SIM card holders with that then they enjoy its telecom services and they enjoy banking services from equity. There was one more question. We wanted investors to fully understand that there are more the information available to them. Before we take the second question, let's take one at the back there.
Sorry. Good morning, Mr. Mwangi. This is Draz Jolie from Reuters. I was just wondering if you could give us an indication of what you expect this service to do towards revenues and going forward in profitability. And just to clarify, this 1 to 2% interest rate, that is per month, right? That you're going to be lending to your customers.
Yeah, the 1% is per month. Well, revenues, I think basically we're really not heavily obsessed with the revenue. What we really want to control is the retail payment transaction processing. And 2, to reduce our cost of handling cash too. And 3, to give unlimited access of money to our customers. We want our customers to have access to their money 24. But of course, the arithmetic of it is that this might be the beginning of a very rapid growth of the bank.
And I didn't complain about the lectures, people enjoy lectures. Now, for a person who is living in Pesa, in my restaurant, say, John, when you come and you give me your gadgets, what you said you don't have to pick up your gadget, considering that I'm already having Lipa dash.
Thank you very much. I think I tried making it clear. Financial systems are all about open loops. And I think we need to, and that's what equity has been driving. It's an open loop system. So when you have a restaurant and somebody comes from China or America, I somehow doubt they're going to have M-Pesa. And we're saying, yes, it's a great innovation. It works extremely well in Kenya, but unfortunately it hasn't worked anywhere else. So, you know, how much we like to pat ourselves on the back about mobile money in Kenya, it really hasn't worked anywhere else. So when we roll out into Uganda, Tanzania, we have to be able to fit in with what's already there. So, you know, we're about financial inclusion, not just in Kenya, we're about financial inclusion in the whole of Africa. And so we needed to go with an open loop system. There are as I said, there are 2.8 billion Visa cards in issue. They're not going to disappear overnight. So I'm sure in your restaurant you want to be able to accept everything. So as I said, we've connected to all the telcos. We're very happy to say, oh, if you've got Airtel Money, we're more than happy to accept an Airtel Money payment, but you want it in your bank account at the end of the day, because you know you need that money in your bank account. So by putting various steps, and I think James said it very clearly, we don't need various steps. You want your money to go to your bank account, because most of your financial transactions happen out of your bank account. So why do we put extra steps into it? So we will give you the opportunity, whatever money, if somebody wants to pay with PayPal, if somebody wants to pay with Google, we will accept it and we will put it in your bank account for you. I think that is an incredibly powerful offering.
Another one?
Okay, thank you for hosting us. Two brief questions. Clarification, when you said variable cost, when it comes to the partnership fee that you pay to Airtel, is it 100% variable or is a proportion fixed? Second question, in terms of your estimation, the numbers you are working with, over the next 24 months, how many active users are you looking at? Thank you.
Let me answer the second one, and then we'll answer the first one. I think we are really looking at requesting all our customers to use this. It's secure for their money. We want to give them that convenience, and it's whether they are individuals, and if there are merchants, we want to give them the POSs. If they're SMEs, we want to, so that we facilitate payments. The uptake would really depend on the value propositions. And like if the rules will be 1%, 2% compared to 7.5%, I don't know how people will react. How would you react under such circumstances?
I guess
that's exactly. How would you react? Would you pay 7.5 or 2?
I guess I have access to funds.
Absolutely. Exactly. So essentially, that really depends on the behavior of the market. So we are hoping that we will have a huge value proposition that will drive the numbers. But at the moment, we're really focusing. We know we'll be able to give the SIM card to all our customers. Well, how much they use it, again, that depends, like what Wajeri says, is both digital and analog. So again, it's market behavior. But we are very optimistic because Kenyans have been trained by the telecoms.
Thank you very much, Mvno, for the beautiful lecture. I think what you are trying to do is basically, the way I get it is, it's a little secret that most of us have Safaricom. So you are telling me to change my number from Safaricom to whatever, because of the banking facility. Now, with all due respect to Airtel, when the other competitors come in, you find that Safaricom becomes your primary line and you never change it. And it becomes weirdly to carry two phones, or for that matter, even a dual call. So how are you strategizing to make me move from, to carry your SIM card on my phone, which is not dual? Then secondly, I think most of us again are with Safaricom because of M-Pesa. And I think what you're trying to convince me to do is move from M-Pesa to equity, whatever. So again, can you tell me, or can you give us an indication of why we will
want to move from M-Pesa to Mvno. Then third, the other thing that holds us beholden to one card is because of our numbers, particularly at the lower level. So if I buy an Airtel card today, moving my contacts from the Safaricom to the Airtel becomes a challenge, and sooner than later I will discard my Airtel and continue with my old good habit. So again, what is your strategy in making it easy, or rather making it easy for people to move from one to the other? Thank you.
Thank you very much. A very good question. And that's a very difficult question because you are comparing two things that are not alike. On one hand is a bank that's saying, I'm giving you a banking solution, but giving you on a mobile channel. And the other one is saying, I'm giving you a telecommunication or telecom facility, but in addition, I can give you mobile money transfer. Mobile money transfer is not banking solution. It's what it is. It's an alternative to Western Union. It's an alternative to MoneyGram. That's our understanding. So we are saying we would start with our customers and say, we want to give you this convenience. If then they enjoy it by word of mouth, they will tell you if you are not a customer and say, by the way, this is how I access my bank. This is how secure my bank is. This is how convenient my bank is. And we hope we will be able to persuade you. But we are hoping they will be able to articulate to you that they are able to do all the banking services. Essentially, we are linking a bank. It's like giving every customer an ATM, but a better ATM because it's able to pay and connect with all payment networks. It's not about withdrawing, it's also about paying. But in case they need cash, they can pick cash from any of the delivery channels. So it's a question of an until we roll it out and people see the whole range of financial services. But again, if there is that loyalty, it's what John says. We will not give you a traditional SIM card. We will give you, because some of our customers, because we are giving them freedom, and freedom means you respect where they are, we'll give them thin film SIM on top of their SIM, and they have both their traditional network and they have the banking solution. So they have both. Now, I'm not able to compare money transfer with a banking suite that provides everything to you, where your money is not in a virtual account, is in a bank account, under deposit protection, FAD on daily basis. You have a statement to your bank account, you can tell, but you have all the banking products. And when you borrow, you are borrowing it between 1 and 2. But I think it's more of a question of time. We see the response. As we say, it's a channel. The most important thing is a channel. As you can see, the products we have talked about, where we are really prepared is the strength, and it's all about the convenience to our customers. We are really focused on the customers. Remember what we also said, we're not going to give a SIM to anybody who is not a customer. And for the customer who is stuck with his mobile phone, we respect that and we give them a thin SIM. So we want them to be able to move to a cashless world, the world of the future. So it is not, we are not really looking initially at a new market. We are looking at the existing 9 million customers of Equity Bank, giving them a channel that allows them to have their money all the time. All the time they have their money. And they can support their lifestyle with their money, irrespective of the hour, where they are, and their circumstances.
Dr. Mwangi, if I may just comment, I think it's an excellent question, and I think it's at the heart of what we're doing here today. Dr. Mwangi and his team said earlier, this is really about giving freedom to people. And today, unfortunately, we can see that in this telecom space, there is a dominant player, and most customers don't really have that freedom today because of the reasons that you have brought up, because of the financial, mobile money transfer that is dominant, because of the numbers, because of the contact, etc. So what really Airtel and Equity are doing here today is to break these chains and allowing customers and allowing the Kenya people to have a freedom to choose. A freedom to choose actually a provider that's giving them the best mobile financial services, and we believe that Equity and probably soon Airtel Money is that provider. The freedom to actually keep their numbers. And today I want also to commend the CCK. We have mobile number portability in Kenya. So today you can choose actually to keep your number and your contact and choose any provider. That system we're working very hard with the CCK to improve it so it's faster, seamless, and so that you can access it. So with the efforts of Equity and Airtel to bring this dominance around mobile financial services, around the mobile number portability, we hope that very soon we will allow the Kenyan people to have the freedom to choose. And that's essentially what everybody wants to reach, is the freedom to choose whatever solution you like.
I think a very good answer. We'll give you the freedom, we'll see whether you choose to use the freedom. There was a second question.
Sorry, there was one question. Yeah, the question wasn't, so yes, it's completely, and Bill will back up. So we've negotiated a completely variable cost. For investors, to put your minds at rest, we've gone with a variable model. So as James said, there's no infrastructure cost. We're riding on the bank's infrastructure, we're riding on Airtel's infrastructure, and we're riding on a company called Effortel's structure, who are providing us with what's called a Mvno, Mobile Virtual Network Environment. So we've outsourced everything in order to make sure that it's a completely variable pricing.
And from Airtel's point of view, it's really about a win-win environment. And the variable infrastructure is really there to ensure that there is a win-win environment both for the Equity Group and for the Airtel Group and Airtel shareholders. Hopefully, and we're sure that this is going to be a resounding success, and the more customers Airtel and Equity have, the more profits both groups will be able to generate for their shareholders.
The long walk to freedom. We might have forgotten we need that freedom. Once you get into a status quo for too long, you accept status. We must jump out of the box if we have to enjoy freedom. You can't enjoy freedom when you are within a box. There was another question. Okay, yeah. We can be going with that if it's ready.
Hello, my name is Kamal from Seattle. One question, two questions. What is going to turn out eventually is that Equity Bank becomes a competitor of Airtel. I'd like to know how Airtel will handle that. And secondly, have you received a prefix from CCK?
Have we got
a prefix?
Neil and John? John, first. Okay.
Let me take the first question. As I just said, it's really for us to create a win-win environment. Obviously, the Equity Group will be launching their mobile service, right? So tomorrow, a customer can choose to be an Equity phone customer or an Airtel phone customer. Now, it's really about the differentiation at the end, and really about choice and freedom, as we were saying. We really want customers to choose whether they want to have an Airtel line, an Equity line, or some other line. And that's ultimately about differentiation, about segmentation, about who is it that we're really targeting. As you heard Dr. Mwenge, the Equity Group is primarily targeting Equity customers to offer them really a freedom and access on their bank account and access to other payment platforms, which is really a very strong, compelling value proposition for the Equity customers, and I'm sure it will have a lot of success. For Airtel as a group, we are creating a new revenue stream for us so that we can actually sweat our assets a little bit better for our shareholders, derive more profit so that we can invest more and bring in more innovative services to our end users. So it's really a win-win. And ultimately, who the customer chooses, it depends on their affinity, depends on how they are targeted, and that's good for customers at the end because it's good competition. But we really believe it's a win-win for both institutions.
I think there's almost zero competition between us, because if an Airtel customer chooses to come to Equity Telecom, then what it means is that I will have to pay Airtel for use of the infrastructure, the variable cost we talked about. So there's nowhere Airtel will lose. Essentially, Airtel can really gain if there is no 100% overlap between my customers and Airtel, because it means for the portion of infrastructure I will be using for my customers, I will pay Airtel. That's additional money that was never with Airtel, yet the infrastructure was there. We are using excess capacity. So it's a win-win situation. I don't in any way see as a deal. But who gets the customer is important. If he gets the customer, I get nothing. So it's better when the customer is with me because we share.
If you have a look worldwide, there's a trend towards MVNOs. So if you have a look at a very developed market like the Netherlands, the number of MVNO subscribers is greater than the number with MNOs. So if you have a look, Virgin Mobile is rolling out aggressively into Latin America. So the whole MVNO strategy is taking off worldwide because it's more about what value you can bring. And we believe as a bank we're bringing more value. So we are supporting Airtel. Every single user that is with us, as Dr. Mwangi said, is an Airtel customer. And we're creating a bigger ecosystem. As far as the prefixes, yes, we have got. But if you can please wait for that's getting into the detail and more the strategy. So if you can please wait until we do the official launch. And if you come and stand first in line, we might give you number 1. But I'm afraid James has got number 1 and I've got number 2. You're struggling with this for 10 weeks. So you're going to have to wait for some of the other numbers. But if you start standing in queue, we can reserve you a good number.
Ideally, I think, John, we have got all the approvals from CCK.
Yes, so the CAK has been very, very accommodating, as Adil said, and we want to thank CCK. I think this is a major step forward for the whole financial services industry and the telecommunications industry, and we'd like to thank both the central bank and the CAK for being supportive of this process.
So we are ready to go if that engineering team and engineer Oweru is ready, everything is set to go live. I think, let me also say, we are very confident CCK will solve that problem of delay in number portability. I'm sure most of the members might want to come with their numbers.
Thank you, Mr. Mwangi. My name is Irungu Kimani. My question is, I have a non-cash account, and what I expect to be is to be given a SIM card of Equity. Will you have to move all the cash accounts to that SIM card? Also, the second question is about is the company having enough resources for the Safaricom competition? But you have stated that you are not there for competition, but to be with your customers. Thank you.
Very good questions. I think, again, I will wait for your instruction. We can retain your M-Cash account, and you'll be paying 2 parties, but we can also convert it. You told us, and you pay the lower charges, so that you go direct. You don't have to go through a virtual account. But again, freedom. We have never forced our customers to do anything we will not start with. We are saying we have now a channel. When we rolled ATMs to them, we saw them all take ATM cards. When we rolled out debit and credit cards, they all took the debit cards. So President has been there, we're very optimistic. As I said, we are not competing with the telecoms. We are offering a channel to our customers. But beyond our customers, there may be competition. After 9 million customers, above that, there will be competition. That will be determined by who is offering better value proposition. Remember, our customers can get the SIM put on there. They have both the current telecom they're using and get the SIM card. But we hope we will have a very good value proposition that will make them take the equity SIM card and use it for all purposes. Very good. We seem to have done it. There is one more here.
Probably at the end of the important only the discussion of the Mvno deals, and you insisted that the future is not microcredit but microfinance. Probably to summarize for me, 3.0, what is your prophecy and probably prediction so that I find some things to work with?
Thank you very much. I think it's true. I think one of the things I really advocated is that microcredit was good, but it's demeaning because you're telling somebody you are micro. You can only get this small. So you refuse to fund people to the level of their dreams, and you continue forever to give them micro solutions. And people's dreams are not micro. Poor people, low-income people have the same dreams like others. All that they need is empowerment. And we have seen that with our customers. There's reason from nowhere, the way equity rose from. You could imagine if us, we were given micro solutions in 1993. We'll never be who we are today. So we have opened the gates and we said, let's forget about credit alone. Let's get savings. Savings is the most important thing. Remember, development or investment is a function of savings. The second one is we said microfinance is good, but we should allow people to universal banking. And Equity opted to do inclusive finance. Everybody is included. And that's why you find the Supreme branches in Lavington, in Cullen, in Gigiri, down here, catering for the high net worth individuals. We have accounts for corporates in corporate branches. We have retail, and we have even a group, and we have micro through the agents. Now, what do we see? The reason why we are moving with 3.0 is we don't want to get stuck with telling people, here is a branch. I'm not sure our children will want to go and queue in banks. They want to have their bank on their phone, and they can do everything. My prediction is that after this, we'll see thousands of accounts starting to be open. We have had, when we do research, very young people, around 20 and 18, they always say, my mother is a member. Even my dad is a member. We always ask them, and you? Not yet. Now, tonight they can become members because they don't need to come to the branch. They can sit in their class during break time and open an account if they are above 18 or they have an ID. They will never need to come to the bank. They will never need to come to the bank. Now, what we are saying is that Warren Buffett in 2006, but with the first hint in 1996, he said banking services will forever be necessary, but I'm not sure banking will be required in the form it is. And we have come to be believers. And that is why we said what we are really now trying to do is invent that future, bring it forward, and move equity from being the place people come to, but then I'll move equity from somewhere you go to something you do with your phone. Self-service menu, facilitating your life. Essentially, I'm seeing a convergence of money, phone, and lifestyle, such that the money remains in the bank, but you have it through your phone, and whatever you do in life, you're able to facilitate yourself. And you don't have to do the cumbersome things of swiping. You just tap and go with your phone, or you just press and the payment is complete. We are seeing a world that is cash right. And in the world that is cash right, then the bank's relevance, if they start to the issue of cash, becomes really doubtful. And that's really what we are thinking about. And we would like to fast track Kenya to be the first country to be essentially cash light in Africa. We'd like to see our country becoming very efficient, because money remains in the bank and the services and goods exchange, and people are able to pay for them seamlessly. So essentially, we are saying the biggest opportunity, and that answers the question of numbers, the biggest opportunity for Equity Bank is to become the leader in retail payment processing transactions. When you do that, then the volume can be enormous. We can see Equity becoming a processor of all transactions and essentially acquiring big data status. And then we can be able to use that to predict precisely what our customer needs. The predictive capability of Equity will be very, very significant, such that you can tell your customer when your customer needs a car before they have applied for a car, and you can tell them, we have already credit scored you for a car. You almost know when the customer goes for shopping, and you can tell them, because you go shopping on 28, we see your credit limit not to be adequate for your normal shopping. We have enhanced it today by this much. That is the capability. We want to understand our customers. Then when they want to buy a house, we'll be telling them, we hear of these choices in the market, and your mortgage limit has already been fixed to this level. Why? Because they no longer need to come and fill applications. The system will be scoring them on every transaction, both from the bank, both from the phone, and from psychometric tests. And psychometric tests, again, they need just to do them on a pad, and the system picks up. That is the world that we see ahead, almost where it's almost a too good to be world, where you don't have to hustle with cash. You remove the hassle of cash in life. The checkbook hassle, the issue of credit cards, and they have expired. Your phone never expires. It will be automatically renewed. So we could see literally, and all the devices disappear, and everything is put on your phone with all the wallets that you can accommodate in a SIM card. John, you can accommodate how many wallets?
Yeah. Thanks, James. So, the power of technology is obviously growing significantly. And as a bank, I think we've foreseen that. We saw the move from microcredit to microfinance, and that really propelled us back then in 2003. We believe we're seeing the next move, and that is obviously towards mobile financial services. So this is all about moving to mobile financial services. And understanding the power of technology, the chip sitting inside the phone, the SIM card, is the very same chip that you've got sitting on your card. So the convergence between the piece of plastic and what's sitting in here will happen. And the capacity on those chips is increasing. You can get up to a 1 megabyte chip, even bigger now. Now on that, you can store literally hundreds of different applications, hundreds of different wallets. So this is all about freedom, choice, and control. And I think that's really what we want to do. We want to give our customers freedom, we want to give them choice, and we want to give them control. And if that is about having 100 wallets on your mobile, we will enable the customer to have 100 wallets. We're not going to restrict our customer. It's all about our customer. And so, that's what we will be offering through this.
So, and lastly, 3.0 will add on dignity and honor. It adds empowerment, and on top layer will be freedom, choice, and control. And using technology for investors I can see Equity moving from a good company to a great company during our lifetime. Thank you very much. I thought the crap meant we have ended, but I can see my friend Chami at the end there. He's an investor, and I evoked the feelings of an investor. Let's give him one last chance. Chami, last question.
Thank you, Doctor, for those good remarks on me. I think mine will be the last one, Doctor, because I was waiting for the other investors to finish their questions, their comments, their views. So mine should be now, I think, the last one. I think you have talked, you have given us good lecture, you have brought innovations. This is our first time. I know there will be challenges in this technology, but we shall overcome as we go ahead. It is good. You have gone the whole world. You have brought us good technology. You have brought us everybody from Germany, from America, from everywhere to Kenya. And in fact, let me say this. One thing is this. Let me appreciate you first. Dear investors, let us appreciate our doctor and his team and the subsidiary and the doctor and Mr. Kamau. Let us appreciate by claps. Yeah, thank you. You started Equity. You had steps, you went far. Now today we are here, now on telecommunication. This will be a very good example in Kenya. Thank you very much. Asante sana investors, asante sana Doctor. Those are my remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
I think I would like to really appeal from Chami's content and ask our customers, please give us success. Our success is in your hands. If you grant it to us, again, Kenya will produce the first success in convergence of telecommunication and banking. So we'll count on you like we have counted on you. I think it would be wrong for me to close without acknowledging a few people who have helped us a lot. DJ is in the loop. That's a Dash consultant. Holland has the highest number of Mvnos in the world, about 60 for a population of 8 million people. And he has devoted the last 6 months helping us to really understand Mvno. And a friend of mine, don't know where she is, worked with Equity about 10 years ago. Oh, there she is. Please come forward, Tamala. Please come, Tamala. And this will be maybe the first collaboration we'll see of leveraging on the infrastructure we have used. Tamara Cook worked with us when she was with SIGAP, the consortium to assist the poor of the World Bank. She was seconded here for 9 months. She's back, then left the country. She's now back in the country. And we are having the first experience of leveraging on what we are doing. Tamara, maybe you could let my audience get just one of 2 things of what we are about to do with FSD and its partners.
Sure, thanks, James. And I was not expecting to come up here, sorry. Maybe I'll just highlight that one of the things that we're doing is around this cash light idea that you've heard Dr. Mwangi and everyone talk about. We've got a pilot going in Naivasha and in Karagoya to really try to give people opportunities to find ways to become cash light. So we've recruited a lot of merchants, both through, we will be doing this through Equity, but also through Lipa na M-Pesa, to give people the option to be able to pay instead of with cash, but with their phone or with their card, and see if we can move people towards that so that we can help people not lose the money in their pockets, but really gain that financial freedom that everyone has talked about. So thank you, James.
Thank you very much, Tamala. So essentially what we saw is that when we introduced agency banking and introduced cashless distribution, all donors stopped bringing food in the country. What they do is they give our people honor and respect by giving them cash so as to do. So we started with DFID, I think over the last couple of years. Alan Waititu, we've paid how much? We've paid 15 billion shillings. So we know that one already is going through. I think there is an anticipated 23 billion, particularly for Northern Kenya. You can imagine what happens in a strike of a second. All the households, 370,000 households that depend on that support from World Food Program gets their money, and they walk to the shop and buy whatever they want. It's no longer where we used to take them yellow maize and such things. That is the dignity we've been fighting for our people. And I'm really excited that we have now been given the aged, the orphans, who will be doing all the social payments. And they will be on this platform, so they will have a card, they will have a biometric card, they will have a phone, a SIM card. Everybody really now becomes, when they receive their social payments, they don't have to go, and they can use it to pay hospital, pay school fees, and we are hoping. We have also been asked to bid for what else, Alan? Yeah, exactly, the aged and the disabled. So again, this system, we know from day one, we shall have 1.2 million cards going because of those payments. And we have been asked to quote by the government of Rwanda to do their 200 payments to government. Again, we're using this system. So essentially, we are sure of success because of partners who believe in the cause that we are pushing for. Let me take this opportunity to thank you. It's a lot of time we have taken, but this concept needed to be really understood because we needed your support. So going forward, I've registered as number 1, John number 2. If you tell your branch manager, we could prepare your SIM card in advance. And for Kenyans who don't have bank accounts with Equity, for you to access a SIM card, please open a bank account. And it's so easy. If Alex, you could really put, it's just as simple, jifungulie future power, hapo hapo. And all that you need to do is star 247. It's 24/7 hash. And within seconds, if you don't have a bank account, try, please. And if we just said that, you find quickly the system responds and give you your account number and gives you a PIN number, and from there you can start receiving. So if you are starting with somebody and he says, I don't have cash, but I have money in the bank, you just tell them, okay, if you have money in the bank, let me open the account. Within seconds, you are given your bank account and tell them, transfer. So there is no issue now of going loud and loud and loud. Everybody will have an account that they could be able. And allow us now to invite our partners so that we can unveil these accounts that will be the first offering to show readiness. So that integration is now complete. The good thing is this integration is complete on all mobile companies. So it doesn't matter which telephone company you subscribe to, you are able to open an account through your phone. So again, it is star 247 hash, and then you are able to open your account. John, maybe.
It's a collaboration between banking and telecommunication. One, two. Once again, thank you very much. Right at the door, you can be able to feed the full presentation, what somebody called the lecture, together with the press release that we'll be releasing tonight. Thank you very much for coming, and we urge you to be part of this journey, the journey of our freedom.